Welcome back to the program. Daniel Rothschild, public policy analyst, is in the studio with us today. Mr. Rothschild has been testifying on Congress, saying it's time for government to get out of everybody's hair. And he has said one other thing, that it's time to privatize everything. Right. Do you mean, when you say everything, do you mean everything?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean everything.
Police?
Sure.
Okay, so like Company ABC could be operating police squads in Decatur, Georgia, Elmhurst, Illinois?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
okay. What about the National Guard, private companies?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't say privatize some things. I said privatize everything, so
yeah.
Everything.
Okay. If we get ticked off at Vladimir Putin and decide it's time for boots on the ground in Ukraine,
Mm-hmm.
Private company?
Well, first of all, when I'm talking about privatize everything, I mean that there are two ways a person can obtain revenue and can succeed. Either a person can say, buy my product or else, and they can say, you're not allowed to compete with me. I have this product, and anyone who attempts to open up a similar product gets thrown in jail. Government does this all the time. Famous example, there was a guy named Lysander Spooner, father of the 3-cent stamp. Stamp used to be 5 cents. He opened up the American Airmail Company in the 1800s, and the government was forced to lower their rates from 3 cents, and they were so good, he was so good, they said, you're not allowed to compete with us, and made him close up his business. And I say something, if either something is okay or it's not okay, and why does someone else have a right to say, this is our territory, you can't compete with me? Either the services government offers are illegitimate and no one should be able to do that, or they're legitimate and they have no right to stop other people from doing so.
Let me ask a question this way. Is there any role for government?
Well, no.
No?
No.
Okay. So how do you answer the question about going to Afghanistan or Ukraine or wherever our next visit is going to be?
Well, if you see a person getting attacked and decide to intervene in defense, you have a right to do so and take your chances. I don't think you have a right to send other people against their will. If we're walking on the street and I see someone's being stabbed, I have a right to say, I'm going to risk my life and save that person. But I don't have a right to say, man, that person's getting beaten up. Someone should help him. Go, help him again, and force you, and conscript you.
All right, so we don't need a U.S. Army or a U.S. Navy or ships or anything like that. A private company, in theory, would do that.
Right.
Okay. I can understand the government not being. What about for making sure that food is safe?
Well, I don't think they do that. Companies have a very strong incentive to rent seek and to capture the industry and to bribe politicians to have all these barriers to entry in order to say their food is safe. The best way to make food is safe. Look, how do you know a movie is good? Or how do you know food is good? You have food critics, you have film critics, and they say this movie is good, see it, or this movie is crap, don't waste your time, and you can have the same thing when it comes to food.
What if salmonella gets into a food that's produced at some factory in Kansas?
Right.
We're going to find out the hard way if it's no good, right?
Well, if a person is producing food that has salmonella in it and they're exposed, they're going to go out of business. But what happens when government messes up? What happens when government, says, the police killed someone? Do the police go out of business? Do they suffer consequences? When FEMA blocked supplies from going in and killed thousands of people, did FEMA go out of business? No, they stay in business. They have no competition. They have guaranteed funds. So I think there's less of an incentive for government to do a good job.
Okay, what would you say to the governor of Louisiana when the next tornado or hurricane comes ashore? It's your problem. Get a private company to do it. The government, we just can't be there because we don't have a place, or we don't have a FEMA to send you.
Right. I think if someone wants to send men to help without using coercion, without stealing other people's money, to do so, that's legitimate. But I think if the only way to help person A is to violate person B, sorry, person A.
You're going to have a U.S. Congress?
No.
Don't need it.
No.
Don't need a White House.
Right.
State Department?
Right.
No need.
Right.
Wow. Are we going to pay taxes?
Well, no. Taxes is the initiation of the use of force, and it implies that the government owns your income and that they're allowed to take what they can at will.
Okay, so the final question becomes, we're going to pay more if we want to live in a city that has no police force, and we want to get a police force. We're going to find company ABC and hire them to come in and be the police force, right?
Yes, and it costs more money to pay for a car than steal one, but that doesn't mean it's ethical.
But you want a police force. If the city says we want to do it, and I don't know how you're going to do that because the city wouldn't even have a mayor, right?
I don't even know what the city means. There are individuals. A city is just an abstract concept.
I had this silly idea that we live in communities, and maybe there's a city that
Right.
Are we going to have a post office?
Well, you're asking me to predict the future. I'm
trying to figure out how this is going to operate.
Well, if people want something, then they can organize to get it. I mean, I don't know what is unique about that. Only through by centralizing power and having a group of people who are responsible for millions of deaths that we can achieve these things. You know, I would say that an anarchist is someone who wants roads without the war that comes with it.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Sure.
Good deal. Dan Rothschild, privatize everything. We will be back after this.